Hey, what's up? Y'all know who it is. Pro X Dragon back again. I'm not gonna waste too much time. We're gonna go and get right into these videos. Real quick, for those of you who don't know, we got Sableye in the lead, Bastiodon, and Venusaur as our team that we're gonna be watching today. A couple of great battles. My set, as you know, we're gonna go ahead and go over a set, 5 battles. And then at the end of this video, I'm actually going to go ahead and go over what I think of the team and its in highlights of the team. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So, on this battle, it looks like we got my Sableye, as I said, in the lead with Shadow Claw, Foul Play, and Return on deck against this Azumarill. Already not looking too good for me and our team. I definitely want to get this Azumarill out of the way as quick as possible, just because if it's a play rough, Ice Beam Azumarill could give me some issues for my Sableye and Venusaur. So I'm gonna go ahead and farm up to Return and hope that my opponent thinks it's Foul Play. Oh, and he switches. My opponent switches with his own Sableye. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap in with my Bastiodon because I want to save my Venusaur to line up with his Azumarill. This one we're not gonna shield. I'm not gonna shield. You guys are gonna see that Bastiodon is very, very bulky, very tanky. So I'm just gonna get some chip damage in with Smackdown, and hopefully I can get a land of Flamethrower. Although I do believe my opponent may want to shield just to preserve his Sableye, but we'll see what we got going on here. Farm up a little bit of energy so that way I have another Flamethrower ready to go if he shields this one. And he does, and my opponent go ahead and sacks his Sableye, goes ahead and brings in Azumarill. So all I want to do here, the goal is to get in as much chip damage as possible. Now this is where we're gonna find out what kind of Azumarill he's running. He's running Play Rough for sure. So the other move is either going to be Ice Beam or Hydro Pump. So again, Flamethrower is not going to do too much, but I just want to get as much chip damage in as possible. I'm going to go ahead and just sack my Bastiodon. And I'm going to bring in I believe Venusaur. Because I know he's running Play Rough, so I don't want to bring in Sableye. Yep. Go ahead and get some energy farmed up, and boom, I don't like that matchup, so I'm going to go ahead and swap into my Sableye. And this matchup is looking very nice for me, but again, my opponent has Altaria with 2 shields. Sableye, really that fast move pressure is gonna be on me big time. We're gonna go ahead and swap shields here. Swapping shields. Oh, this is gonna come down right down to the nail. Yeah, I'm only gonna get enough to get 1 Foul Play in, 1 more, and then I'm gonna go down. This is gonna be a little tough here. It's gonna be really close because if my opponent can get to a Sky Attack, I'm gonna be forced to use up my shield. And again, like if the Azumarill has any energy farmed up to an Ice Beam, yeah, I'm kind of stuck between a hard place and a rock. We gotta hope it's not Ice Beam. What's he got? Hydro Pump. So he's running a Hydro Pump Play Rough Azumarill. Hydro Pump still does a lot of damage though, because if my how quickly can my opponent? How much life does he have left? I definitely have enough for another. I probably should have chipped. Probably should have just chipped down. He had already wasted his energy, and he gets to a Sky Attack. All I do is farm down his Azumarill. Give up to at least 2 Sludge Bombs, or a Sludge and a Frenzy Plant. That's tough. That's tough. All right, that's okay. Next matchup. See who we got in the lead. Looks like we got Sableye and a Shadow Zapdos. You don't see too many Shadows. Not too many people are brave enough to run a Shadow, Zapdos, Articuno. I really don't know what he's going to be running on his Zapdos. It's got to be Thunderbolt or Drill Peck, since he got to it so quickly. I wasn't counting the moves. And it was Drill Peck. I haven't faced too many Shadow Zapdos to know how much damage I was going to take, but I wasn't going to risk it. I really didn't want it to be taken down too low. So I'm going to go ahead and shield. I think I'm going to go ahead and shield this one too, just again, I don't have much experience going up against the Shadow Zapdos. So I don't know what the damage output is going to look like. I'm sure somebody can go and sim those battles for me. Let me know in the comment section if I could have taken at least one of those drill picks. Let me know. We're going to just go ahead and see if he tank. And he doesn't. My opponent really wants to keep in his Zapdos. Maybe he has something in the back that he does not want Sableye to get into. And I do catch his drill pick nicely, and he brings in his Stunfisk. Here, Bastiodon gets walled really hard by Stunfisk. So all I'm hoping to accomplish here is kind of like on the first battle, chip damage. I'm getting these flamethrowers. Flamethrower surprisingly does very good damage against Stunfisk. So if you're ever lined up in just the right opportunity or situation, you can actually KO one-shot a Stunfisk if he's low enough. Yeah, I think that was the right play, because I don't know what's... He has a Zapdos, but he's not dry on energy, and this Stunfisk is going to get to a Rock Slide. I can get to a Foul Play, and I should be able to take that Stunfisk down. And then here, so I'm thinking my opponent wants to keep his Zapdos around for, and great. I'm looking great. I'm looking great. I'm thinking my opponent's gonna try to catch one of my Frenzy Plants on his Zapdos, assuming he's running an Ice Beam with Azumarill. But the rest of his, he's definitely energy dry on his Stunfisk. Doesn't have too much. He might be able to get to an Earth. I think he had like 2 or 3 he threw in. I think he had 2. So he's running an Ice Beam. I can take one Ice Beam. I can't take another one. And I'm able to farm his Azumarill down. Zapdos doesn't have too much health, so I'm not worried about Zapdos. And it's energy dry. This is good games. This ought to be good games. Yeah, and then that right there gives me to Frenzy Plant. Yeah, my opponent realizes it, and good games. GG's. On to the next. On to the next. Alrighty, what we got here? And we got a Medicham. This is a great matchup for Sableye. And my opponent realizes that, so he quickly shifts out. I'm going to go ahead into my Venusaur. This matchup can be really dicey if I don't manage my shields properly. So definitely want to manage the shields properly. Otherwise, I could be out. I could actually lose this matchup. So my opponent chooses to take one Frenzy Plant. I guess he knows he wouldn't be able to outrace me. I am definitely, depending on the IVs on a Stunfisk, that can actually one-shot me, because my Venusaur is not top tier as far as IVs go. The only reason I have him on my team is because it's shiny, of course. Ding! That's a little sparkle. And I'm gonna go ahead and I say I shield this, or am I gonna take that Earthquake? I'm gonna take it, and as you can see, I can take it. I wasn't gonna try to outrace him. All he had to do was get to Rock Slide, and he will force my shield. So my opponent decides not to do that. He is going to farm me down, so he's stacked on energy right now. Excuse me. What to do? I want to get ahead on energy, so I'm going to go ahead and shield the first one. He definitely doesn't have enough for a double Earthquake, so there's the right call to shield there. Go ahead and take a Stunfisk, get a head start on energy, and he has a Azumarill. Oh, again, if he's running play rough on the Azumarill, that is big trouble for me. I get to return. This is where return comes in very handy on matchups where Sableye is not very good at. So my opponent comes in with Medicham. I switch it, hoping to catch maybe a play rough on my Bastiodon. Obviously, I'm not able to get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to shoot this flamethrower and get in as much chip damage as I can, hoping that my opponent just tries to farm down and farm up energy, which looks like he is trying to do, and I won't be able to get to another flamethrower. So that's all the chip damage I'm going to be able to get to. Sableye really is going to have to, I'm going to have to save up for another return. So my opponent throws Psychic. Psychic's not going to do much thanks to my Dark dual type. And he's probably going to throw, does he have enough for another Psychic? He does. And thankfully for me, I don't get the debuff. And I'm able to farm him down. I get to return. Who's gonna? I win the CMP tie. I'm pretty sure he had enough for another move. And I'm gonna take this with a return on a Sableye. Good games, good games. My opponent was close to taking that matchup. Very close. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and go to our last match, and we got Haunter. Another great first lead. And we got Swamp. Oh wow. I'll be surprised, really surprised if my opponent just doesn't get games this. Again, this is kind of like the Stunfisk matchup. If the IVs on the Swampert are, and he goes with Slowway, I was thinking it's gonna be Earthquake. I can take one of those, and I'm able to farm him down. I'm looking great as far as energy wise goes. My opponent cannot farm too much energy off my Venusaur because my health is so low. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to force a shield from my opponent. Haunter's just so glassy. Look at that, and that's on a not very effective move. Frenzy Plant. Haunter, Ghost, and Poison type. That Poison type resisting my Frenzy Plant, and if I try to go with Sludge Bomb, it's double resisted. So Frenzy Plant seemed like the better choice there. I'm gonna obviously bring in my Sableye, and I'm gonna shield whatever he throws at me. Well, yeah, I'm gonna shield whatever he throws at me. And he comes in with that Altaria. My team, this just was not the day. My opponent realizes it. My team matched up very well against this team. All right, we got our last battle of the night. We got Sableye against this. Again, this is going to be very dicey here, because it really all comes down to shield management. I got to be able to call his baits right. I'm trying to get out of there as quickly as possible, so I'm running these foul plays as soon as I get. I'm not trying to farm up any type of energy, because that Stunfisk. Although, if you guys think that's a bad strategy, please let me know in the comment section. Tell me what your thoughts are on that. What should I have done? Should I farmed up? Should I try to get to a return? So opponent comes in with a Pelipper. I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna go ahead and get to a return, and I was hoping to get to a foul play before he got to his Weather Ball. I have to eat this Weather Ball. I don't believe it'll one-shot me, and it doesn't. As you can see, I kind of changed my mind at the last minute. I was trying to swap to Bastiodon, realizing, you know what, let me just save that energy that I farmed. But it's too late, so I go ahead and get that out of the way, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to farm this Pelipper down before he gets to a Weather Ball. And my opponent brings in his Stunfisk. Obviously, that's going to be the preferred matchup, unless he had somebody else, which doesn't look like he had anybody else. So if he brought in Stunfisk, doesn't have a fighting type. What could he have in the back? There's our flamethrower damage, and again, this is just chip damage here, guys. We're not. I definitely have no hopes of taking the Stunfisk down. And we're just gonna see how this plays out. I'm definitely not gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna sack my Bastiodon. There's no reason to waste that shield there. That matchup is doomed to fail anyway. So really, there's no logic in trying to waste a shield there. I'm gonna hope to get to a foul play. and either take his shield or I'm going to KO his Stunfisk. I love the shield pressure I'm able to apply with Sableye. It's phenomenal. And we got a Tropius, a Razor Leaf Tropius. If this was an Air Slash Tropius, I might be a little worried. But this is a Razor Leaf Tropius. So I believe I should have this game in the bag. He has no Pokemon to try to sacrifice, shield sacrifice there. So I have no worries. I'm not worried about it. I'm just going. And my opponent lets the first move go through, thinking I was gonna go for a shield bait, but I'm going straight Sludge Bomb. Now thanks to my opponent's move, I can go ahead and go for Frenzy Plant, straight Frenzy Plant, and I should be able to get to another Frenzy Plant before he's able to get to 2 Aerial Aces. My opponent does not shield. He wow. Thanks. Wow, that's I can't believe he didn't shield. That's it for the videos, guys. So sorry, let me pause this real quick. So as you can see, this team is pretty good. Overall, this team has very few vulnerabilities. If I had double moved my Bastiodon, I'd be able to win a little bit more matchups, maybe like the neutral Zoomerl matchups if he's running Ice Beam, Play Rough. If I had Stone Edge, that matchup actually might be a little bit more favorable. But like I said, it's just very few vulnerabilities. It does cover most of the meta. This team has very excellent bulk with Venusaur and Bastiodon. Bastiodon alone is just very tanky. I just need to be able to handle or manage my shields a little bit better, and this team could be phenomenal when the Great League returns. Now, what I have realized in these matchups is that the team does struggle a bit in safe swaps. If I don't win my lead matchup, particularly right off the bat, you will find that this team struggles to come back from bad matchups. So that's why you saw in a lot of the videos that I did expend my shields right at the get-go. Like I'm trying to win that matchup, either the switch or the lead matchup, so that I can keep switch advantage. Usually, if I win that switch advantage, I win the matchup. Consistency. This team damage output is extremely consistent. There's not a lot of moves that you have to really kind of worry about technically wise, or technical moves like your close combat, Brave Bird, trying to think of Draco Meteor, the other moves that cause self debuffs that can widely swing a game in different directions. Sableye is just really cool, really dynamic, very spammy, and like I said, applies phenomenal shield pressure. When it's in any matchup other than a fairy type, Sableye is going to perform pretty well. Bastiodon, he is just there to be extremely bulky, defensive. He has a lot of resistance, I think 13 plus. The downside to this Bastiodon is he's very slow. His charge move is, I think it's a 4-turn, 3-turn move. Doesn't apply a lot of shield pressure, and he has the volatile weakness of being double weak against fighting and ground. Two of their most common Pokemon types in the meta for Great League. And finally, we have Venusaur, one of my OG favorites. He is very spammy. He's a lot like Sableye, but I will say he does come with a lot more weaknesses. Sableye has the extreme luxury of being a dual type Ghost and Dark, which is a phenomenal dual type. You're only having to worry against fairies. And that's not saying much, even though fairies are a little common in the Great League as well. But that's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Till next time, peace.